Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. There's a link to all of your instructors on the website, USAPrepares.com. Converging threats are confronted by your instructors. I'm Vincent Finelli. And if you'd like to call us, we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Charles is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. Captain John Ragan's with us. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
Hey, John. I have in my hands a physical inflation calculator. Literally. It's a mechanical device. The whole thing is about, maybe 10 inches long. Comes in a case, and it's called a dial caliper. And what this device can do is it can measure inside and outside diameters and thicknesses. And it's accurate to within 1,000th of an inch. So I was working over the weekend on wiring wiring in the barn. And in the barn, we're putting about 100 metal boxes with, lights, compact fluorescent lights. They're about 8 watts apiece. And I can light the whole barn up with about 100 of these. Well, the boxes have these knockouts, these half-inch knockout holes, and you put in these cable clamps. And the cable clamps hold securely to the box Romex cable. Romex cable is this sort of flat package, 3 wires in it. There's a black wire, a white wire, and a ground wire. And it's used for alternating current wiring. Use it in your home for 120 or 240 volts. Well, I ran out. The last box that I bought of 100 was, about 5 or 10 years ago. And I got the new ones. And the new ones are made by the same company as the old ones. They're stamped, the same. They're made in India. And I thought, I think these new ones are a little lighter than the old ones. So I got out the dial caliper and I measured the metal. Well, on the old ones, there's a strap that actually secures the wire to the cable clamp. And the old wire was 40 thousandths of an inch thick. The new and improved ones that look the same, they're 32 thousandths of an inch thick. 20% thinner metal. So I thought, well, let me check the rest of this thing. Let's check the casting. Let's see if it's thinner too. It's thinner. So when we talk about inflation, we talk about box sizes, the box of cereal or the box that you buy at the supermarket, new and improved, enhanced, but it's a smaller package, or the package may be the same size, but the contents is smaller, lighter, thinner. Well, it's true in these cable clamps too. And I'm 100% certain that it's not marketed as, for the electricians in our lives that carry maybe 10 of these in their pouch. This is a, going up that ladder, this is a real savings for you because they're 20% lighter. They only weigh an ounce apiece at the most. Just one more measure of inflation, John Regan. What do you think?
Yeah, I just imagine if they had packaged hamburgers some different way instead of selling it by the pound, we'd be seeing, this little patty for $3 instead of, having the price per pound still exposed to us.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't it interesting that even in things that we wouldn't expect to be reduced in content, they're reduced in content as well. And this is not the kind of thing that, most people buy very often. So they'd never notice it. Never. Unless you're an electrician and you're doing remodeling on an old house and, the house is 20 years old and you're taking apart some old wiring and you go, huh, I think this is a little different from the, the current production equivalent box or wire jacket or armored cable. But it's getting thinner, and I don't think it's an improvement. I really don't. John, we got a meetup tonight at Jimmy's Egg, and I got a call from Rosie this morning. Rosie is one of our class, and she said, "So what are we going to talk about?" And I said, "Well, Roy Birdsong's going to be there, and he's going to be talking about cell phones. And even though I don't have one, even though I'm the only guy that doesn't have one at the meetup, we're going to be talking about problems with them, how to fix the problems with them, updates about the cell phone industry and what the cell phone industry is trying to do. And I can tell you that Verizon is not in the business of trying to lose customers. Just try to cancel your contract with Verizon. See how interested they are in you. Yeah. They are not interested in losing you as a customer. And I'm sure the other cell phone companies are in a similar position. They don't want to lose customers as the economy spirals down. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to have the news updates, and we're going to talk about something else. And she said she went to another one of our students and instructors' houses, and they had a little get-together where they brought some food, and they were going to talk about preparedness. And this was over the weekend. And so some people brought, like, Mountain House, freeze-dried food, and all I had to do was heat it up without matches. And she was telling me, she said, "Do you know how hard it is to start a fire without matches?" And I said, yeah, I do. But there are some alternatives. So, for example, if your task is, if you drive someplace and you get there and you got some food and you want to heat it up and heat your freeze-dried food with some hot water, well, you can use your cigarette lighter in your car, right? If you happen to be near someone who smokes, you can borrow a cigarette, light the cigarette with a cigarette lighter from your car, and then use that to light a match. Or you could light a piece of paper with a cigarette lighter, and then light your kindling and start from there. Or you could take a wrapper, an aluminum foil wrapper from a piece of gum, and fold it into a strip and put one end on the positive end of a D-cell battery, or a D-cell. You'd call it battery, but it'd be a D-cell from a flashlight. And the other end on the negative, and hold it, but don't hold it in the middle because it's going to get really hot. It's going to glow red, and you can start a fire with that glowing red aluminum foil. Just another way to start a fire. An easy way, rather than, what we might think would be a traditional way with rubbing two sticks together or something like that. So, John Regan, what's on schedule for today's class?
Well, I've talked about doing a special report, putting a lot of information together, and I got to looking at it, and I know that it's just going to be too much to fit into one show. So I'm trying to lay a little bit of the groundwork for that. And today I've got first part. I wrote a special blog post called "Consensual Relations" that will probably upset a few people, and and then I've got a quantum computer update, which we had talked about. I guess it was actually last year when the news article came out where D-Wave had sold one of their quantum computers in a joint venture with Google and NASA. And what happened since is, I find a little interesting. So, the article in Consensus Relations, which is the first link there, it's actually the second article if you're following along on the website, the financialstateoftheunion.com, on the news tab. And if you've been, following what's been going on in America lately, you kind of wonder how we got here, and perhaps maybe a little bit of what we can do to try and turn things around. And that's what this is about. So, probably shouldn't start it just yet because we're coming up close to the break. It's going to take a little bit longer than that. I can fit into the next segment. Let's go ahead and do a quick tale of two drought updates. California still sitting pretty much the same. They had a little bit of area from that rain drop from a D2 to a D1, but really no big difference. Texas, it's summer here. The good news, we still have zero population affected by drought, but we had about a 50% increase in abnormally dry areas, going from a little under 3 to a little under 4% of the state that's now abnormally dry. And we've still got a couple of lakes here in North Texas, and consider we've only had 1 day of rain in July, less than an inch. So it's really been over a month since we've had any real rain. And we've got two lakes that are still pretty full. One is still 20 feet above conservation level. And then Lake Texoma on the border there is now down to just 17 feet above conservation level. So it's taking time to get all that water out, which probably brings up another consideration. Once things hit the fan and the Army Corps of Engineers is no longer around to manage those lakes, you have to wonder what's going to happen when you get this rain and you're living downstream. So if you live anywhere near a body of water, trace it back to its source and think about those things.
Really good point. And John, when we come back, I'd like to share with you. You need the full segment when we come back, right?
I haven't. Probably pretty close.
Okay, I'll just tell you very quickly when we come back about trees falling over. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH pH drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
If you're worried about your health and you're tired of the nasty side effects of harsh drugs or antibiotics, then look no further. Supernatural Silver is the answer. Supernatural Silver is a powerful immune system enhancer that can be used every day to help keep you healthy and well with none of those nasty side effects. It's extremely safe for use internally as well as topically. And Supernatural Silver is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. It is perfect for use in the sinuses, eyes, ears, and on any wound or skin issue. Supernatural Silver is also extremely effective when taken orally and can help fight off bacteria, viruses, and mold that may be overwhelming your immune system. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, supernaturalsilver.com, and use the promo code SILVER2015 for 30% off of your entire order, and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
Healthy, organic, fresh fish, robust, mouth-watering vegetables, all from your home. It's called aquaponics. This brilliant, self-sustaining protein and veggie system is perfect for year-round growing. Know exactly where your food is coming from. Aquaponicssource.com is the one-stop shop for all your needs. Fish, fish food, plumbing, full systems, classes, and more. Learn to build your own system. Go to aquaponicssource.com for a free guide to aquaponics. That's aquaponicssource.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Captain John Regan's with us, and we're at the financialstateoftheunion.com. We're at the news tab if you'd like to follow along with us, or you can peruse that later on, as time permits. The financialstateoftheunion.com, the news tab. John, very quickly, I was at the Farmers Co-op this weekend. I was buying some fender washers so I could put solar panels on the roof of the barn with our son. And I heard some farmers talking. They were talking about, the wind. I said, yeah, it was so windy that trees blew over. Well, the reason the trees blew over was because the root balls were soggy. We've had so much rain here. The ground is so damp that wind was able to knock over large trees. So I just wanted to contrast that with California, which has about maybe 0.1% of the state, which is not abnormally dry or worse, right?
Yeah, they don't have to worry about them falling over from dampness. They fall over from dryness,
from lack of
or just burn up.
Right. Okay. You were going to...
I've made this post on consensus relations, and I have Becky proof my posts before or basically anything I write before I send it out, if I possibly can. And I come in and ask her if she read it, and she said yeah, and she told me I stepped on some toes there. And I just want to say I may be stepping on some toes, but I just want you to know before I stepped on yours, I stepped on mine. So see if I can get this in one segment. Love is the new mean. What the Christophobes really mean is sin is in. What troubles me is that we have whole denominations hopping on the sin is in bandwagon. But I guess it shouldn't be too surprising. Nearly 2,000 years ago, 2 churches were warned to turn away from sexual immorality in the book of Revelation. Seems the more things change, the more they stay the same. More recently, I'd say it's the lie of consensual relations sown with the sexual revolution of the 1960s that we're reaping today. The harvest is bountiful. Consensual relations does not necessarily translate into godly relations. From what I've read in the Bible, the only consensual relations that are not a sin are those between a man and a woman that is his wife or concubine. And I ask if you have any scripture that supports otherwise to please contact me with a reference. And if you are following the page, I have a link to my contact page on the website, or you can reach me through email at john@thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. Sexual immorality is one of the list of lifestyle choices that will earn you a place in the fiery lake. The good news is there's still time to repent. And again, if you have internet, you'll notice that list of lifestyle choices is a hyperlink that goes to the Bible Gateway, which gives a reference there. And if you don't have Bible software at home where you can do good research, this is kind of a nice site to go to because you can look at different translations and you're able to search on terms. That makes it a whole lot easier than just going through a Bible and, you really need to do the books for, when we don't have power. But right now, these save you a lot of time. The cancer of sexual immorality has been growing in our country for decades, and that's not going to be changed overnight. What we can do as parents and churches is to teach our young women and men about the consensual relations lie. We should teach our girls that when they add the W of being a woman, that they pick up another W upon entering consensual relations. They have the choice of that W being a wife or a whore. One is permissible, the other is sexual immorality. It's a similar message for our young men. Consensual relations mean they're either using that woman as a whore or taking her as a wife. And when you take a woman as your wife, you have to take care of her needs for the rest of your life. And it seems like a lot of our churches don't spend time talking about what Jesus says about divorce, but that's another issue. We have a funny view on marriage today. We believe we need permission from the state and say some words in front of an authorized official. These are just modern customs and another Wesley rabbit hole to discuss later. I'll wrap up once we get back.
John Regan's with us. USAprepares.com. We're talking about morality, and it's going down the drain.
Want to listen to your favorite GCN hosts and programs without a radio signal or internet? Just call 605-562-4213. Get instant access to all GCN live feeds right on your phone, anywhere you want, anytime you want. 605-562-4213. It's our way of ensuring everyone has the opportunity to enjoy GCN. 605-562-4213. The future of talk radio. GCN.
Affordable health insurance was the promise of Obamacare, but for many, the government mandate caused more problems than it solved. And I want to tell you about a truly affordable alternative, Liberty HealthShare. Liberty HealthShare bypasses doctor and hospital panels, giving you the freedom to choose. 100% coverage up to $1 million per year per occurrence, who includes dental, vision, pharmacy, and holistic care. Call 1-800-714-6993. 1-800-714-6993. 1-800-714-6993 today.
Thousands of people seeking home security get ripped off every day, and the home security industry wants you to believe that's your only option. They've got hordes of salesmen out there trying to scare you into signing one of their long-term contracts. You get stuck writing huge checks month after month with no way out. It's robbery by contract, and it can cost you thousands. But there's a better way to protect your home. Simply Safe Home Security. Simply Safe has no contracts. None. You'll get award-winning 24/7 protection. Security professionals watching over your home, ready to instantly send police to the rescue for just $14.99 per month. That's less than half what most companies charge. Protect your home the smart way. Visit simplysafedefense.com today for an exclusive 10% offer and get a free keychain remote worth $25. Only when you go to simplysafedefense.com. simplysafedefense.com.
Extend your life with Hey, neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendivite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendivite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years. And Extendivite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendivite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendivite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hi, this is Steve Spillum for Midas Resources. In 1971, President Nixon took the United States off the gold standard and put us into a fiat currency. This allowed Congress and the Federal Reserve to create trillions of dollars out of thin air. The national debt has risen to incredible heights, and your hard-earned dollars buy a small fraction of what they once did. The average life expectancy for a fiat currency is 27 years. The dollar is failing and on borrowed time. When currencies fall, people turn to gold and silver because gold and silver have been real money for more than 5,000 years. It is our mission at Midas Resources to help you preserve your capital. Don't let your personal savings shrink to nothing. For important free information on how you can protect your personal wealth, contact me, Steve Spillum, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 308. Call today while we are still accepting dollars for gold and silver. 1-800-686-2237, extension 308. Make a change in your financial security today. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 308.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Captain John Regan's with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. John, you've been teaching us about consensual relations. Please continue.
Yeah, I was just wrapping up. The Bible is hate speech to those that love sin and hate God. We are to love the haters, but we are not to accept their ways. Keep the faith and repent as often as needed, and I put my name at the bottom of that. And I put that as part of the foundation on this report because in the report I have to cover a bunch of different layers, one of which we're going to talk about soon, having to deal with the quantum computers. And as I put these different layers together, one of them has to be the spiritual component, which is this battle between good and evil that's been around since the garden. And I wanted to start it off on this to help focus one on what we're seeing a lot now. In fact, I've got an article today where the persecution is starting here in America, and in a state you probably wouldn't expect it to start in. And our country's had, it's like I talked about in my book, we've been going downhill financially and morally. And the problem, just didn't start in the last couple of years or the last couple of administrations. It's been going on since, before I was born. You can see how this agenda has been set, and they've been making pretty good progress with it. And I guess all I can say is we're coming up on some really interesting times. And by the time I start putting some of this together, it's going to be troubling. I've got a piece from, Dane Wigington talking about what he sees with the geoengineering. I've got an article where I got the chart showing the climate change, the temperatures, not just of recent times, but going back hundreds of millennia. And once you see that chart, you'll see where we're sitting right now. And we've got, I better not try to even list it. Do you have anything you want to cover on this before we move on to quantum computers?
I wanted to mention one thing. You were talking about temperatures. I was in the truck yesterday with our son, and we were in the truck for about 2 hours, an hour each way, on this journey to pick up some equipment. And we didn't have anything in the truck, so it wasn't like we were pulling a trailer. It wasn't like the truck was overloaded. It was an empty truck. And it's a 6-cylinder Chevy 2004 pickup truck. I changed the thermostat in it to 180 degrees because I believe that the road temperature is hotter from the sun. And when driving under normal circumstances, the temperature is 180 degrees as measured by the temperature gauge on the dashboard. During the trip, a few miles into it, the temperature reached 195 degrees. What this means is the radiator and the cooling system, even with a 180 degree thermostat, cannot keep the engine down to 180 degrees. What I believe is happening is that the surface of the road is so hot that the air that comes off the surface of the road that runs through the radiator is so hot that it cannot cool the engine down to 180 degrees. Now, when you're going downhill, there's less of a load on the engine, and you can, along downhill, you can watch the temperature go down. But what I'm seeing is that and there are no leaks in the cooling system. It's not like the cooling system was inadequate at the design. It's not like the cooling system is plugged. What I'm saying is that the flow of coolant through the traditional thermostat is not enough. Not enough coolant can flow through the 180 degree thermostat to keep the engine at 180 degrees. Temperatures are climbing, and we're going to see more and more failures. And we've talked with Miles about this, Miles from Europe. So and it was a very, very enlightening broadcast. So if you'd like to listen to that broadcast about overheating, temperatures, oils for vehicles and light trucks and equipment, Friday's broadcast would be something that you'd want to tune into. That's last Friday's broadcast. So you might want to listen to that, download that podcast. It was unlike anything I've ever heard on radio, talking about the differences in oils and how to select an oil and why oils fail and what to do about it. So I'm concerned, John, about the temperature increasing. I'm seeing it on the farm. We wanted to put some solar panels on the roof. Our son was out there early this morning. It's so hot he can't get on a steel roof to do the install solar panels without my help. As a matter of fact, and when I'm off the air, it's going to be too hot as well. It's going to be even hotter. So we've got to get out there early in the morning before the sun has a chance to shine on the roof to heat it up. That's the kind of stuff that's going on. And it's a showstopper. It literally is a showstopper. There are things that cannot be done now because of the temperature. Yesterday, it was so hot, so humid, it limited our ability to work outside. Literally. And we're seeing more and more of the weather changes that are preventing us from doing things outside. Either it's raining, or it's hot, or it's drizzling. And that's what's happening here. California, there's no moisture. So I just want to share that with you, that I'm trying to find the solution. And when I do find the exact solution for the right thermostats for most vehicles, which it's hard to find, I'll let you know. But what you want to look for is a high volume thermostat for your vehicles. Because I believe that if you're stuck in bumper to bumper traffic and your radiator is eating the heat of the vehicles in front of you and the vehicles in front of them, and there's not a lot of air movement like on a dark colored highway in your bumper to bumper traffic, you're going to see more and more vehicles overheating. And the guys in front of you might be the obstacle that you can't get around to go forward. So we're all in this together. So we've got to find a solution. And I'm working on that. So I'll let you know when I find the right solution.
You know, when I was listening to the news this morning, there was a small plane crash. A couple was flying private plane back from Springfield, Missouri to Fort Worth. And the pilot died. His wife is in the hospital. I don't know if I'll be able to catch what the actual cause was, but it got me to thinking, you know, all the hydraulic problems you've had recently, if you're flying a plane and you have a hydraulic problem, that's really bad news.
It's a really, really serious problem. And I don't want to fly. I mean, I really don't want to fly. And Miles in Europe, one of our senior instructors, absolutely brilliant man. He doesn't want to fly certain aircraft, and he won't buy parts, rebuilt by certain rebuilders because the quality is not there. So just because you get a rebuilt something or other, like an alternator or a power steering pump or a hydraulic cylinder, doesn't mean that the parts are all the same and the level of attention paid by the person rebuilding is the same across the board. It's not. It really is not the same. So, and what we're finding is there are fewer and fewer people who know how to do things. Really, the skilled craftsmen are in decline, in my opinion, at least in this country. As a matter of fact, if you take your phone to a phone store, other than Roy Birdsong's phone store, you're going to find that you may not get the answers that you wanted. Just try taking your phone to Walmart and talk to one of their technicians about, well, how does this work and how do you do that, and see how far you go. I've tried it in the past. I don't care about it anymore because I don't have a phone. But when I was trying to find out about it, they couldn't answer my questions. So the level of knowledge that we see in the people who are selling things, to me, is in decline. Would you agree with that, John?
Yeah. Yeah. I think not only is it decline, it was bad enough in the good old days when you went into a store and the salesperson was probably going to push what they got the better commission on. Now, a lot of these people aren't working commission. They're getting straight pay per hour. And if they know anything, it's only because they're using it themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. And what I'm finding is that the people who are in the, let's say the automotive business where they're selling at these, big box stores don't have the knowledge that I want them to have. They really don't have that knowledge. And I'm also seeing that the number of parts in inventory is in decline. So that if you want one, they may not have it, but they can get it for you tomorrow. But if you want it tomorrow, you go and get it tomorrow. The reason you wanted to get it today was because you needed it today. Actually, the reason you needed it today is because you weren't prepared, because you didn't know you were going to need it today, which may or may not be part of, well, if I need something today and I run out of it, it's my fault. I should have thought about that. I really should have. But then the economics comes into play, and you can't have spares of everything. It's just not possible. And that brings to mind the point that if the electricity went down right now, right this second, how many would be prepared to survive for 3 months? I submit to you very few. It'd be really, really tough to survive because there's so many things that we need. Just for example, yesterday I needed washers to put these solar panels up. I only needed 34 of them. But I didn't have 34 2-inch washers. I just didn't have them. And with the grid going down, how would I get them? how would I get them? So I'd have solar panels all ready to go, except for I couldn't put them up on the roof. Something as simple as $3 worth of washers. John Regan and I'll be right back. This is USAPrepares.com. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
We are a survival company. We manufacture our own line of Level 3 and Level 3A body armor. We proudly make our armor 100% in America. We have the best prices in the nation, about $125 cheaper than our nearest competitor. All lab certified, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Psalm 31:3. We are Fortress Survival LLC.com.
You're fired. According to the Small Business Administration, 75% of small businesses plan to eliminate jobs or reduce workers' hours to part-time. You're fired. According to Gallup, the unemployment rate recently jumped to nearly 9%, and the underemployment rate hit a staggering 17.9%. You're fired. 1 out of 3 young adults and 1 out of 2 recent college graduates are underemployed. Hello, I'm Keith Abel, a pharmacist and a home business entrepreneur. In 2011, I became one of those statistics myself. Instead of looking for another job in corporate America, I joined Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. We're creating steady incomes for ourselves and would like to show you how to do the same. If you want to supplement your current income, replace your income, so you don't have to become one of the statistics, then give me a call toll-free at 866-257-3105, 866-257-3105. You're fired. Don't wait till you hear those words. Start creating an extra income today. 866-257-3105.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
John, in Britain, there's a beach, and the naked sunbathers there say that, well, they're furious. They're furious because somebody with a drone was spying on them. So this drone was a radio-controlled aircraft that had a camera attached, and so these guys are on the beach, and they're being videoed, and they're outraged. And I posted it on the website, and they should be. Not that I think that going to a nude beach is a good thing to do, but the comparison that I draw here is they're outraged because they're nude on a beach and they're being videoed. That bothers them. But what about those who are swimming in their pools that are being spied on by the satellites, by the government? What about those who are being spied on with their cameras on their cell phones? What about those who are being recorded on their cell phones? What about the texts and the tweets and the emails that are all being gathered and saved and sifted through for comments? What about all that? There should be outrage across the board, not just for those who are bathing nude on a beach. We should all be angry, every single one of us. And I happened to be on the phone with a cell phone company, and they wanted to know how they could get me to keep my cell phone. And I said, there's no way you'll be able to keep me as a customer. I'm not interested in being your customer. I said, I don't want a cell phone because you guys have been spying on me. It's outrageous. And he said, yeah, it is bad. It is outrageous. I mean, this is a cell phone company agreeing with me, but they wanted at the time to keep me as a customer. There's no way. There's no way I'm interested in being a customer of someone who is going to spy on me. Think about that. Why would we do this? Why would we allow ourselves to be snooped on by some unknown group of people? We know the name of the corporation, but we don't know where they are. We don't know who is using that information and why. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. And I'm still the only guy I know that doesn't have a cell phone. John?
Yeah.
Well, Katie Singer and me.
Well, let me, I want to keep all the computer stuff together. So let me get through the financial stuff real quick. I got 3 articles. The difference an Apple makes. It's a McDown quarter and IBM doesn't compute.
Yeah.
The first one, it's bad enough that the second quarter Standard & Poor 500 earnings per share is down 3.5% year over year. However, if you look at the Standard & Poor 499, take out Apple computers, it's down 6.7%. We know McDonald's has had problems. Their profits have fallen 13%, and IBM has a 13.4% plunge from a year ago. So it looks like Obama is doing a great job.
You know, I was talking with Bert Bertonis over the weekend. He's an engineer, USA Preparedness instructor in California. And I asked him what's happening in California, what's happening in Silicon Valley. He's right in the heart of it. He's been there almost all of his adult working life, decades. And he used a term that I had not heard before. It's called frenemy. Frenemy. It's the combination of 2 words, friend and enemy. And he was talking about the Chinese. He said, they're frenemy. We need them. We need them because they do the manufacturing. They're friends. But also, when they take the technology, they can be our enemy. He's absolutely right. And it's a term that is traveling around Silicon Valley, California, frenemy. Captain John Regan and I will be right back after these top-of-the-hour commercials and news. And we're going down the list of the financialstateoftheunion.com, the news tab. You can follow along with us. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
We've been patiently waiting while you tried to ignore us, waiting while you acted like we didn't exist, waiting for our chance to be taken seriously. The wait is over. GCN is available 24/7 at GCNlive.com. Navigate through news from your favorite hosts and download archives of past shows. Download the app on your smartphone or tablet or visit GCNlive.com for instant access and live streaming. GCNlive.com, the future of talk radio, now at your fingertips.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a silver dollar in a book explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
We call it the crapper, water closet, outhouse, or bathroom. But where do you go when there's nowhere to go? The answer is the Biffy Bag. The Biffy Bag is a pocket-sized disposable toilet that fits in your glove box, tackle box, toolbox, backpack, or purse. The Biffy Bag has everything you need for a sanitary and comfortable relief experience. It's ready to use in just seconds, and just toss it in the trash when you're done. It's your Biffy in a jiffy. BiffyBag.com. BiffyBag.com.
Would you like to use your IRA funds to buy precious metals and hold them at home? Are you wary of the stock market, paper gold, or faraway depositories? With a checkbook IRA, you may legally take custody of IRA-owned gold and silver. Call today and learn how IRA owners in all 50 states have already taken control. Call 844-MY-GOLD-2. That's the number 2. 844-MY-GOLD-2.
Everyone all set? Cocked, locked. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Captain John Regan. Captain John Regan, I think I'm going to get sick. I was just looking across the internet and I saw this website. 35 tattoos every basic girl must have. Let me read that again. 35 tattoos every basic girl must have. And that's every basic girl and must have. And what are they? Well, there's a little petite red heart. And where does that go? Well, that goes right between the head and the shoulders on the center of the neck. Right at the top of the spine. It's idiotic. Another one. This is a tattoo of a diamond on the left ring finger. It's called an engagement tattoo. So if you're engaged, you get one of these. How many engagements break off? A lot, right? How many marriages break off? A lot. And then there's another one that every basic girl must have, and that's an under-boob cursive script. That's just, a couple words. Under the boob. This is idiotic. And here is the media telling us that this is what every basic girl must have. I don't know what a basic girl is, but if if every basic girl must have one, I'm not interested in meeting basic girls, that's for sure. John, this is nuts. That we're being programmed to think that tattoos are what you got to have.
And most people don't know that those dyes that are in there are not necessarily good for your health.
Right. And Norm Shealy and I were talking about that on the air, and they can interfere with the circulatory system. Pretty dangerous practice, I think. I'm not interested in one. I'm not. And what we should do is do a broadcast on if we have them and we want to get rid of them, what do we do about it? And I was talking with Miles in Europe, and he has a suggestion. It takes about 2 years, but very simple over-the-counter chemical. Very, very simple. Over-the-counter. And just apply it, and it just dissolves it over time. Tattoos. What a great way to go. I mean, can you imagine having a tattoo of some female on a guy? And let's say the name is Wendy. So you've got Wendy tattooed on you. And, well, you and Wendy break up. Now it's Mary. Now Mary has to look at Wendy, right? I don't think that's a good idea. So prevent the whole problem. And by the way, I told our children, go and get a tattoo. That's up to you. But if you do, you're out of the will. Out of the will. Simple as that. That's how strongly I feel about it. So, John, you might have distanced yourself talking about consensual relations today, and I probably did the same thing with tattoos.
It's interesting. Did they list a rose tattoo on the breast as one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in 30 years you end up with a long stem rose. You need to keep that rim shot queued up.
Oh, jeez. Okay, what's next?
Well, there was an item during the top of the hour news that I'd seen this morning where the China stock market was down the second largest one-day amount this morning, over 8%. And I just want to quickly mention that, and that's probably going to mean that gold and silver prices are going to take a hit during this week, because the people in the Chinese stock market are highly leveraged, and they're having to make up these margin calls, and typically the only thing they have to do that with is by selling off their gold and silver, typically paper that we're talking about, not the physical metal, but it's going to affect the real gold and silver prices. Mm-hmm. So don't be surprised if you see that this week. It's not a weakness in gold and silver. It's because people are having to sell whatever they can to cover their losses.
I talked to one of our gold and silver experts a couple days ago, and I said, what's happening in the market? And he said, nothing. Nothing is happening. People aren't buying, and people aren't selling. it's at a complete standstill in this part of the world, in the Ozark Mountains. I talked to someone who is very knowledgeable at a physical brick and mortar coin store, and he's got his finger on the pulse of what's happening. So he knows when people are selling gold and silver to pay bills. He knows when people are buying it because they come into the store all the time, all day long. And he said, boy, this is strange. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. No buying and no selling. And I have a feeling it's because they don't want to sell because prices are low and they're broke, so they can't buy. I think that's what's happened. However, as there's more and more pressure to pay bills, there'll be some selling. And he said that there were a few families, like 3 families, that have gotten together to drive the price of silver down. And they're working very hard to do that because they want to buy a lot of silver at depressed prices. So that's their plan. What's next?
Well, let's talk about quantum computers. Okay. And to set this up, I need to talk a little bit about the normal computers that we use, which are digital computers. And there's a term in there, the bit, stands for binary digit. And it's really not that bad if you can handle the technology we know as a light switch. So with a light switch, we've got 2 positions, and in the normal installation of a light switch, up is on, down is off. And that's essentially what a bit is. It's like a light switch. It's either on or off. And there's some terms we use. In the on position, sometimes we'll represent it with a number 1. Sometimes we'll call it true. Sometimes we'll call it yes. All those are synonyms. If it's in the off position, the number would be 0. We could call it false or no. And that's really all it is. If we just look at numerically, once you have that light switch, you can only represent 2 numbers, 0 and 1. Now, if you wanted to get more numbers, you start adding switches. Well, with 2 switches, you have a choice of 4 different positions. And that would represent numbers 0 through 3. And every switch you add doubles it. With 3 switches, you have a choice of 8 numbers going from 0 through 7. And just sit down, work it out on paper, you see how it works. When you get to 8 switches, you get a pretty common number that you see in computers. You've got 256 possibilities that range from 0 to 255. And if you've ever had to work with IP addresses, that'll stand right out. Well, in this normal computer world that I grew up in, that's the way it was. A bit can only be a 0 or a 1 at a time. It can't. There's no other options. It's like when you flip the light switch. The light's either on or off. No other options. Well, in quantum computers, things start getting a little bit weird. You almost move into Ricky Rocket's neighborhood then. And you have what's called qubits. And it's very similar in that you've got the on and off, but it can also be both at the same time. Now, it defies logic a little bit because how can you have your light on and off at the same time? But that's how this thing works. And when we started talking about quantum computers in 2014, the D-Wave 2 system that was sold to Google in conjunction with NASA, that's a pretty big number, and those numbers are beyond what we can really comprehend. So what I tried to do to make it a little bit more understandable was talk about the number of digits in the number, which brings it down to a value in the hundreds, which we deal with hundreds in our financial lives. So it's not that far out of our understanding. So with a 512 qubit system, you can represent a number that's 155 digits long. And we'll put that into more perspective once we get back from the break.
Captain John Regan's with us. Class, we got to meet up tonight at Jimmy's Egg. Roy Birdsong will be there. We'll be talking about cell phones, problems with them, how to fix the problems with them, and what's happening in the industry. Of course, I'll do my monologue as I do every Monday. I'll give you my take on the news. Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 tonight. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
In the U.S. alone, a home invasion occurs every 13 seconds. On top of that, the average response time for 911 is over 15 minutes. That just won't cut it. Don't allow yourself or the important people in your life to be victims. When seconds matter, don't be caught stumbling for your firearm. Get the protection you deserve. Get yourself a hidden holster from hiddenholster.com. It's the original hidden holster. The hidden holster is quick, easy, and convenient. It's versatile enough for the home, workplace, or virtually anywhere else you might need it. Have peace of mind with your firearm close by at all times. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. If you own a firearm, you need a hidden holster. Your protection matters, and self-defense is the best defense. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. The original hidden holster.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
All right, so suddenly Walmart, eBay, Amazon, everybody wants to ban the rebel flag. Well, the rebel flag is an important part of American history. The rebel flag is still a long-standing symbol of Southern pride and Southern heritage. So if the big retailers want to play into political correctness and try to deny the history of America, let them. Go to ourflags.com. That's R like rebel, R, the letter R, ourflags.com. Get your rebel flag before they actually do outlaw the things, huh? Ourflags.com. That's ourflags.com. Go now.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CATIarmor.com. Come and take it.
The website is thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. hardtop.com. And we're at the news tab. Please continue.
Well, let's get these numbers in perspective. In the financial world, if you had $1 million, that's a 7-digit number. If you had $1 billion, that's a 10-digit number. And, you know, even if you're the richest man in the world, Bill Gates, your total net worth is only 11 digits long. When we talk about $1 trillion, which is what the governments are working with now, 1 trillion is 13 digits long. And when we talk about derivatives, it's a mind-boggling 16 digits long. And that's just in our man-made financial world. Let's look at the universe. Scientists say in the known universe, there's, they give a range because they don't really know, 10 to the 78th power to 10 to the 82nd power number of atoms in the known universe. So that translates to a number that's somewhere between 79 and 83 digits long. So when you have a 512-bit or qubit computer, you've got a number that you could put a number on every atom in the universe and still have tons of room left over. It's just insanely big, but it's still not big enough for what they're trying to do. It was interesting in looking at the updates they've done, and I've included a link to the YouTube channel for D-Wave Systems, which is the one that sold the computer to Google. And in those videos, they have one from, I guess a couple of years ago, where it talks about the scalability of the system, where they went from the first qubit and all the way up. And they'd been doubling the size every year. And in their release in 2014, they said they expected the 1024 system to be released in October. And that didn't happen. And in fact, there was not a lot of information coming out of there. And I don't know what was going on. I don't know, did they hit a technological problem? Did they have money problems? Or was it, you know, clamping down on the information, you know, bit of a classification problem or combination? I've seen where they've gotten funding, so that's probably not so much of an issue. And from these newer releases, it suggests to me they had a bit of a technological problem. But what I found really interesting is they went from having these updates 2 years ago, and then there was a slew that they came out with just a couple of months ago, just a few weeks before the Bilderberg conference, where the Bilderbergers got an update on artificial intelligence, which I believe these systems are tied into, because when I went back in and started watching some of these videos, one, I was surprised to find out that the quantum computer, the D-Wave in particular, is based on a neural network. Well, a neural network is how your brain works. It's not the normal computers that we work with. It is where it creates the pathways more like the brain to solve a different type of problem. The other thing that I found quite interesting is that to load the quantum computer with the problem, they had to take the information from digital, which is what we use all the time. Even our music is digital nowadays. And they have to translate that into analog and load that into the computer. Another bit of trivia, the coldest known spots in the universe are these D-wave quantum computers.
You're talking about because they have to get down to close to 0 degrees Kelvin in order to have them operate, right?
Correct.
Yep. John Regan's with us, and when we come back, we've got Mike on hold from Tennessee.
The human body is more than 60% water. Your brain and muscles are 75% water. And your blood is 92% water. Water is vital to your body, and alkalizing your water is the key to keep it running at its best. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops keep your entire body healthy, boosts energy, promotes weight loss, and even fights cancer. Call 800-518-7615 or go to alkavision.com to find out more. That's ALKAvision.com.
Healthy, organic, fresh fish, robust, mouth-watering vegetables, all from your home. It's called aquaponics. This brilliant, self-sustaining protein and veggie system is perfect for year-round growing. Know exactly where your food is coming from. Aquaponicssource.com is the one-stop shop for all your needs. Fish, fish food, plumbing, full systems, classes, and more. Learn to build your own system. Go to aquaponicssource.com for a free guide to aquaponics. That's aquaponicssource.com.
Okay, honey, I have to ask, and be honest here. Have you been taking a little blue pill? Because things have been pretty good in the bedroom lately.
No, I swear.
You didn't pick anything up at the Pharmacia last month in Cancun?
No.
Well, something's different.
I have been taking that heart and body extract you bought me.
But that's for your heart and to control your cholesterol.
Well, I read HB extract also promotes healthy prostate function.
I never guessed it would work this well,
But you're glad it did.
Oh, yeah.
Heart and Body Extract is a 100% organic formula that promotes a strong heart, healthy arterial flow, better circulation, improves erectile and prostate gland function, and provides youthful energy, strength, and stamina. Find out more at heartandbodyextract.com. Heart and Body Extract paired with healthy heart choices is a winning combination. Call toll-free to order or for free information. 1-866-295-5305. 1-866-295-5305.
In the U.S. alone, a home invasion occurs every 13 seconds. On top of that, the average response time for 911 is over 15 minutes. That just won't cut it. Don't allow yourself or the important people in your life to be victims. When seconds matter, don't be caught stumbling for your firearm. Get the protection you deserve. Get yourself a hidden holster from hiddenholster.com. It's the original hidden holster. The hidden holster is quick, easy, and convenient. It's versatile enough for the home, workplace, or virtually anywhere else you might need it. Have peace of mind with your firearm close by at all times. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. If you own a firearm, you need a hidden holster. Your protection matters, and self-defense is the best defense. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. The original hidden holster.
Everyone says or does something silly once in a while. Even very smart, very accomplished people. It's part of being human. A quote taken out of context, a legal problem, an unfortunate photograph. Once that embarrassing thing is on the internet, it can spread like a terrible rash because people love to dig up dirt, even when it's not real dirt. Put it to rest. Call for a free expert analysis today from Reputation.com. It only takes 30 seconds. 800-831-0771. Businesses, public figures, and professionals turn to Reputation.com for good reason. We protect your online image by helping make sure that when people search for you or your business, they find the most current, accurate information possible. Reputation.com. Because word travels fast. Learn more about what the experts at Reputation.com can do for you. Call for a free analysis today. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2236 2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
Captain John Regan's with us, the financialstateoftheunion.com. We're at the news tab. Mike from Tennessee's on with us. Welcome, Mike.
Good morning, Vincent. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
You were talking about gold earlier, and this triggered something. I was having a conversation with a fellow the other day, and I thought of a very nice, simple way to explain to him the 101 on how these commodity markets can and are rigged. And then I referred him to a movie. It's called Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's called Trading Places. That would be a good way to get a peek at how these are controlled. Case in point with China. Recently, they dumped 5 tons of gold on the market, and they sold it at a reduced price, triggering what I term they refer to as stopgaps. Basically, when people have commodities, they say that, okay, here's my threshold of comfort. If it gets to this point, sell off. Well, the problem is that if they set a sell-off stopgap at, let's say, $1,080 for an ounce of gold, well, if it jumps from $1,092 down to $1,075, it's past their stopgap. So they'll actually end up being forced to sell at the lower price because there has to be a buyer before there's a sell. And if it drops below their stopgap, whatever it stops at to where there's a buyer, that's what they end up selling it at. So what can happen very easily, and I'll make this very simple, is that China agrees to sell at a reduced price, triggering a drop in the market. This triggers the preset stopgap sell-off. And when the set price is not met, the offers are below that level, well, the stopgaps are forced to sell at whatever the market offer is. In this case, China offers to buy back all this gold at a reduced price. Thereby, they get the gold back and they make a nice profit. And this is how the commodities market works, and this is what's going on right now. They are playing the markets for all the people that are sitting there lining up at the trough with these stopgaps. And I had a relative that I met back in 73, and I was just a young teenager, but he explained to me, he worked on Wall Street, Prudential Beach, been doing it for 40-some-odd years. He said it's a rigged game, never get into it. This is what I do daily. I effectively work in the system so that I can profit off other people's stupidity. And they literally know who's got the stopgaps, how much they are, and they know how to trigger these and to go beyond the stopgaps. And so that's what they're doing right now. They're playing games. They're driving the price down so that people with the big institutional players, they can invest in the commodities that they've just sold hours earlier, triggering stopgaps. They get their gold back, plus they make a profit.
You know, Mike Parsons, I asked Bob Chapman on this broadcast if the market was rigged, and he said absolutely. I asked Larry Nichols if the markets were rigged, and he said yes. And I experienced it, early on in the 1970s. I could tell that the market was rigged. And I believe it is. I really believe it is. I believe you're right. What do you think, John Regan?
Yeah, in the good old days, you had the floor traders. Now everything's pretty much computerized, and the computer knows what those stop-loss orders are. So it doesn't take a whole lot of work to figure out how much you need to drop it. And I like the Trading Places reference, too, because I tend to believe at the high elite level, that's pretty much how things are. They have got so much money that it really doesn't mean anything. They own everything anyway. And that the games they play are that bet for $1 and influencing, us peons.
I was talking with one of our instructors who barely has enough money to buy food. And this instructor is really bright, really, really bright. And the instructor wants to write a book. And it's not like the instructor hasn't written books before, because this particular instructor has. And she said that she'd contacted a number of her friends or billionaires, and they don't respond. They don't respond at all. All they have to do is give a little bit of assistance, and these books would be forthcoming. An insignificant amount of help, insignificant to them. But they don't even have the time to respond to correspondence. They're so busy. There's something wrong with the system. There's something wrong with the way we treat other people, the way we interact with other people. There really is. And Mike, you're talking about individual greed. You're talking about the guy on Wall Street who is so greedy he is willing to rip off his customers. We're talking about lawyers who are so individually greedy that they want to steal a third of whatever's regained as a result of someone's massive loss or misery. I don't have much respect for lawyers. I really don't. When I was in school, I had a little theory I put together, and I put it in a paper. I don't know if I still have it or not, but it was about how you could predict tomorrow's Dow Jones Industrial Average movement, up or down, based on the sum of the individual greed of the investors. It was really simple. And I went back 2 years, and I looked at the Dow Jones, the high, the low, the average, and the close for every trading day for 2 years. And I applied this theory to it to see if it actually worked. And it did. It was about 90% accurate. So you could predict the direction of the Dow based on the sum of the individual greed. And it was so easy to find the sum of the individual greed. It really was. And you could predict tomorrow's Dow based on today. Now, the times it didn't work is when there were random walks in the market, or random walks, meaning some event happened, a president got shot, or some head of state that we didn't expect, something bad could happen, and it would trigger some fear, and it would skew the results. But other than that, this little theory worked. And that's the problem. The problem is there's so much individual greed. And when you sum it up, when you sum all of it up, we have what we have today in society. A mess.
There's a story in the Bible that depicts the nature, I believe, of an attorney, whereas the fellow was so hungry, so famished that his brother, who had cooked a bowl of soup, said, "Hey, I tell you what, I'll let you have this soup, but I get your birthright." And because he was so starved, he said, "Yeah, whatever, anything." Consider a guy who's stuck in a flood, and a guy says, "Look, here's a garden hose. I'll give it to you so you can breathe through it as the water's rising, but I need the keys to your new Corvette." What did it take for him to give the guy the garden hose? Nothing. What did it take for him to feed his brother? Nothing. They saw the opportunity to advance their position through extortion, manipulation, and greed. Okay. Anytime you have to deal with someone who perceives that they have the power over you as an attorney, or some doctor, the magical cure who only they have, and it's at the low price of everything you have, run.
I'm not going to mention any names at all in this, but I have information firsthand about this. There was a person who was an attorney that needed help, and a bunch of us helped this attorney. And it was a terrible situation. We literally helped this guy and his family. And, like a year later, another one of our friends needed some help, just some advice. And the attorney said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a break. $500. I'll give you some advice. I'm not going to mention any names, but I was absolutely shocked. And it bothers me to this day. Yeah, I know attorneys sell information. I know that. But gee whiz. Wouldn't it be nice to just help somebody you know by saying, I'll tell you what, let me take 15 minutes. I'm not going to charge you. Because you need help. I know you. I've talked to you. You know, we've done things together on the telephone. Let me help you. Be delighted to do it. I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed in who we have become. There's a guy who lives about 3 miles from our farm as the crow flies. This guy's a farmer. And if he has trash in his car, let's say he goes out and gets a soda and it's in a cup, he'll throw it out the window. He feels obligated to throw his trash out the window. Now, if he's on our road, who ends up picking that up? I guess that would be me, or Mrs. Finelli, or our children, or our other neighbors. I resent it. He doesn't have a right to throw out his trash, but he feels he does. He feels it's his right to throw out his trash. It's unacceptable. We need to follow the golden rule. All the time. And I don't know how we get back to it. Because it seems like our schools aren't teaching it. It seems like parents aren't paying attention. It seems like our children are whining. And they feel that they can get it, whatever it is, if they whine for it. Because they're entitled to it. Well, they're not entitled to it, whatever it is. They have to work for it. Mike Parsons, thanks so much for the call. Did you have some more?
Yeah, have a great day.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Mike Parsons in Tennessee. John Regan, I'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
You are an individual with your own thoughts, decisions, and actions, so why should you be penalized for not enrolling in the subpar health insurance mandated by the government when you can be truly independent with Liberty Health Share, a bold, innovative alternative allowing you to take back control and make your own decisions about your health care? Mention this ad when you call to learn more. 800-714-6993. That's 800-714-6993. Liberty Health Share. Together, we are one.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it led back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Healthy elimination is essential to high energy, a cheerful mood, and prevention of disease. Some of the founders of our modern holistic health thinking state that disease begins in a toxic colon. A toxic intestinal tract is the foundation for virtually all degenerative disease, and a clean and well-moving intestinal tract is the foundation of health.
I just want to say that you folks have an amazing product. I've taken whey protein products for years, and I've never noticed the results I have with your product. I've suffered with bouts of constipation most of my life. Within a few days of taking One World Whey, I noticed a dramatic change. Also, in the past few years, I've experienced symptoms associated with diabetes. I feel horrible when I've had too much sugar, and I've been getting the foot pain as well. But I've noticed in the past week or so, I'm not feeling bad anymore, and the foot pain is gone. I'm just finishing up the 5-pound tub I ordered and just got off the phone ordering more. I love your product. Thank you.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld.com.
Thousands of people seeking home security get ripped off every day, and the home security industry wants you to believe that's your only option. They've got hordes of salesmen out there trying to scare you into signing one of their long-term contracts. You get stuck writing huge checks month after month with no way out. It's robbery by contract, and it can cost you thousands. But there's a better way to protect your home. Simply Safe Home Security. Simply Safe has no contracts. None. You'll get award-winning 24/7 protection. Security professionals watching over your home, ready to instantly send police to the rescue for just $14.99 per month. That's less than half what most companies charge. Protect your home the smart way. Visit simplysafedefense.com today for an exclusive 10% offer and get a free keychain remote worth $25. Only when you go to simplysafedefense.com. simplysafedefense.com.
I just thought I'd look at my emails. I have 18,691 unread emails. 551 more are coming in. I can't believe it. I cannot get ahead. So if you sent me an email and you think I'm ignoring you, I'm just overwhelmed with emails and phone calls. And I'd like to ask that if you decide to call us, how about not calling us after 9 o'clock at night? Really, I've got to get up really early in the morning. There are other people at the house, and if you feel that it's necessary to call us after 9 o'clock, I can tell you what's going to happen. I can guarantee it. Our son is going to look at the call log, and he's going to start at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's going to start returning phone calls. He is. He's going to say, I know you were calling my dad, and I know it must have been really important, so I'm here to call you at 2 o'clock to see what it was, because I know it's really important. You may not know my son, but if you call after 9, you will. John, I got an email from one of our instructors, and he said, hey, there's this guy in Springfield, Missouri, and he was guest hosting a local radio show. And he and this other guy who's in the financial market, a financial broker, we're talking about, the financial collapse. It's pretty serious. It's going to happen. And they're talking about getting out of the city. And would you like to have them at a meetup? I said, are you kidding me? Are you serious? John Reagan's been talking about this for years. And he's been at the meetups and the expo. And so some local guy who just gets it. We don't need his help. We don't need his help. So, unbelievable. So a mortgage guy just finally gets it. By the way, I invited that same mortgage guy to be at the expo number 1. He showed up late. He said, I'm here for my seminar. I said, you missed it. You missed it. Your seminar's over. You didn't show up on time. So he hasn't been back. Anyway, that's the story there. But I'd like to share with you something that I find fascinating, John. You know, I've been looking at solar power inverters, and I've been doing research, and I'm trying to find the right one. And there's one I really like, so I did some research, and there I learned there was a YouTube video about this one from Taiwan. And the price is nice. It's less expensive than the other models that are available. But it seems that this particular model fails every 3 months because of a capacitor design. There are a couple capacitors in this particular unit, and they fail after about 2,000 hours, which is about 3 months of use. And the factory will send you new ones. But the problem is it takes a couple months to get them. So now imagine this. So you think you're off the grid, you think everything's working great, and if the power goes away, who cares, right? The grid goes down, who cares? You got solar power. Well, it's not so good if these capacitors that are operating at maximum voltage overheat and fail. And what if you don't have a couple of these capacitors to replace them? The ones that failed. You're down, absolutely down. So we are still dependent on the grid for supplies. That's the whole point. Nobody I know is totally prepared to be on his or her own. Nobody. John, back to you. We've got a couple minutes left.
Yeah, let me try and wrap up the quantum computer. What we've found out is they've announced the 1,000-bit, and the next article talks about they've actually got a working 1,152 qubit computer, but that processor actually has 2,048 bits or qubits. And what does it mean? Well, when you get that 1,000 and 2,000 level, it means that they can solve problems in minutes that would take ordinary computers longer than the age of the universe to solve. Think about that as a weapon.
Pretty frightening, John. And only the largest of the large corporations and governments can afford these. Class, every Monday, John Regan for 2 hours. Every Tuesday, Larry Nichols for 2 hours. Every Wednesday, Dr. Norman Shealy, medical doctor. Every Thursday, Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next? By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
We are a survival company. We manufacture our own line of Level 3 and Level 3A body armor. We proudly make our armor 100% in America. We have the best prices in the nation, about $125 cheaper than our nearest competitor. All lab certified, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Psalm 31:3. We are Fortress Survival LLC.com.
Affordable health insurance was the promise of Obamacare, but for many, the government mandate caused more problems than it solved. And I want to tell you about a truly affordable alternative, Liberty HealthShare. Liberty HealthShare bypasses doctor and hospital panels, giving you the freedom to choose 100% coverage up to $1 million per year per occurrence, who includes dental, vision, pharmacy, and holistic care. Call 1-800-714-6993. 1-800-714-6993. 1-800-714-6993 today.